Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple of my favorite plays on Prizepicks for today's slate for Friday, May the 6th. Once again, two games on Friday night, so a two-game slate. We've got Miami and Philadelphia, game 3 of that series. Obviously, traveling to Philadelphia, so being played in Philly now. Hopefully, that means, the game does stay close. It's been a blowout so far in the first two games of that series. Philadelphia, though, expected to be without Joel Embiid. Once again, he's already been ruled out for Friday's games. There was reports that, even though he's listed as out, he could maybe still play. And at the time I'm making this video, we don't have any Sixers props on the board right now. It doesn't look like. Maybe those will get added later. But I was still able to find 3 props that I did like for today for these two games. Obviously, all the Dallas and Phoenix props are already posted, and I got a couple plays I like in that game. So we'll talk through the 3 plays that I do like for today, guys. Just as always, before we do get started, hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Hit that subscribe button as well if you are new here. Trying to upload these videos every single day for you guys. I know I didn't upload Thursday, but there was no NBA games Thursday. So no video Thursday, but I'm back for Friday slate. Every day that we have an NBA game, pretty much up until the end of the season, I'm going to start to try and upload these videos every day for you guys. Also, I think when the NBA season does end, we'll probably start dabbling into MLB a little bit, cover some MLB, talk through a couple MLB plays I like for Prizepicks after NBA ends. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed these Prizepicks videos. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to Prizepicks, you haven't checked them out, you can sign up with my promo code Noah. Prizepicks, worth noting, they're offering some softer lines compared to a lot of other sports books. So, if you compare Prizepicks props to other sports books, you're getting some really good lines. A lot of these lines are 1 to 2 points lower on other sports books, and we'll kind of talk about that in this video. But I think Prizepicks is a fun way to play. It's definitely a different way to play. You have to make at least 2 picks, but you can make up to 5 picks. You can win up to 10 extra money. There's no juice, so even if you want to bet a heavy favorite on Prizepicks, you're not going to be penalized for that. You're trying to get as many picks right as you can. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter what the odds are. You're just trying to bet the most heavy favorites, just picks that you think can get right. So definitely check out Prizepicks. Sign up with promo code Noah. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you guys do sign up with my promo code. And before we do talk through the 3 plays that I do like for today, we can recap Wednesday's plays, which was the last day I uploaded a video. And on Wednesday, we had a good day. We went 3-0, got a clean sweep. We hit the over 33.5 PRA for Jimmy Butler. That one wasn't much of a sweat at all. Jimmy Butler had a really big game, finished with 40 points, rebounds, assists. We hit the over 24.5 points for Devin Booker. I'll be honest, that one was a little sweaty. Devin Booker only had 9 points at halftime, but he had a big second half. I think he scored 20 points or 21 points in the second half, finished with 30 points. So he went over 24.5 points, and then Tyrese Maxey had a huge game. We took over 20.5 points for Maxey, and he finished with 34. So really good day on Wednesday. We got a clean sweep, and I'm hoping that we can do it again for Friday slate. So let's talk through the 3 plays I like for Friday. We're going to start off in the PRA category. And as I mentioned, on Wednesday I took over 33.5 PRA for Jimmy Butler, and it went over. He had 40 points, rebounds, assists. He had a big game. I like going back to it. 32.5 PRA. The line went down 1 point off of what it was last game. Worth noting that Kyle Lowry could maybe return for the Heat today. Kyle Lowry is questionable. Obviously, Lowry has been out for, I believe, the last 3 to 4 games. But even if Lowry returns, I don't think it's this massive downgrade for Jimmy Butler. Because if you look at the usage so far in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler has just really dominated the usage. He's had a 27.5% usage rate. Obviously, Omer Yurtseven has had a high usage rate, but he's only played 14 minutes, and those were all in garbage time. So basically, Jimmy Butler has led the team in usage so far this season. And if you actually look at his stats so far in the playoffs, he has been dominating in the playoffs. He's averaging 26.5 points, over 7.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. So he's basically averaging 40 points, rebounds, assists per game so far in the postseason. He's just been a completely different player. He's really taken over. He's had this massive offensive role. He's playing huge minutes every night. Still worth noting that his minutes he really hasn't even reached his full minutes potential so far in this series, because both these games have been blowouts. He did get pulled with 2 minutes left last game. Obviously, he still went over. But the game 1 of this series where he went under his PRA prop, he didn't even play in the 4th quarter. He only played 30 minutes. It was a blowout. I think now that this game is being played in Philadelphia, whether you think home court advantage matters or not, I think it does make this game more likely to stay close with this game being played in Philly. If by some chance Joel Embiid winds up playing today, obviously that makes it a lot more likely the game stays close. If it's close, I think we're getting 38, 40 minutes from Jimmy Butler. With how much of a role he's had in the playoffs, with how aggressive he's been offensively, outside of just the scoring, he's been getting plenty of rebounds, plenty of assists. Maybe if Lowry comes back, his assist numbers take a little bit of a hit, but still think the scoring opportunity is going to be there. Still think he's going to grab some rebounds. I like over 33.5 PRA for Jimmy Butler or 32.5 PRA for Jimmy Butler. I took it last slate at 33.5 and he crushed. I just still think this line's too low. I mean, he's gone over this line, I think, in almost every playoff game except like one or two. Let's see. So far in this series, he went over in one of the two games, and obviously the game he didn't go over, it was a blowout. So I don't even want to look at that one too much. But he went over in game 5 against Atlanta, had 36, 10, and 4. Game 4 against Atlanta had 20, 10, and 8, so he went over that game. Had 45, 5, and 5, so he went over that game. Had 21, 6, and 4, so he came up just short, finished with 31 PRA. But again, that was another game that was a blowout. He only played 33 minutes, lost some minutes due to blowout. And then game 1 against Atlanta, he came up short, just didn't have that great of a game, only 24 and 1. But basically, Jimmy's gone over this in like almost every playoff game, and the ones he didn't go over were blowouts. So I think if we get 40 minutes from Jimmy Butler today, if it's a close game, again, being played in Philadelphia, I think it's more likely the game stays close. Really like Jimmy Butler's chances of hitting his PRA prop once again. Now, you could take his points prop, but I think with how Jimmy Butler can contribute in all categories, with how much he's been rebounding, getting assists, he just does everything when he's on the floor. I feel a little bit better about PRA. So that's the first prop I like for today. The second prop I like is another PRA prop. This one, people might be against this one because it's not hit in 2 straight games, but I think it's just too low of a line. I'm taking over 23.5 points, rebound, assists for Jalen Brunson. Obviously, he has gone under this prop in back-to-back games, and so far in the series, he's gone under. But I don't care. I mean, you look at the minutes so far for Jalen Brunson. He's been limited in both these games because he's been in foul trouble. And Jalen Brunson is normally not a guy that you really have to worry about foul trouble for. He's not a guy that draws, he's not going to draw fouls, or not necessarily draw fouls, but pick up fouls, I should say. He's not a guy that's going to foul. He's not like, Jaren Jackson Jr., some of these other guys that just foul all the time. That's not Jalen Brunson. He's picked up 4 fouls in back-to-back games. He's lost minutes because of that. But, you look at the games he was playing where he played his full minutes where he wasn't in foul trouble. I know some of those games, against Utah, some of those games were without Luka. But still, even when Luka came back in that Utah series, like Brunson was still going over his PRA prop. 24, 5, and 4, 24, 3, and 2, 23, 5, and 3. He's been, he's had really good usage so far in the postseason. Even when Luka came back, his usage was still really good. And you can take a look at the usage so far in the playoffs. He's had pretty much the second highest usage rate on the team behind Luka. Luka has really had a massive role so far in the postseason. That is worth noting that, like, Luka has just really dominated the usage, but Brunson still has had a 29% usage rate in the playoffs. Even in these 2 games against Phoenix in this series, even though he's been limited by foul trouble, he's pretty much had the second highest usage rate on the team. Obviously, Marquise Chris, Trey Burke have both had high usage rates, but those are in 5 minutes. I mean, that's basically just garbage time. Luka's had a massive usage rate, 39.9%, and then Jalen Brunson, 24.1%. Even with the limited foul trouble, like, he's still been producing. It's just that, he's been cut down because of foul trouble. Last game was a blowout. He didn't even play his full minutes then. As long as Brunson's not in foul trouble and this game stays close, and this game is being played in Dallas, so I think it makes it a lot more likely it stays close, we should get 35, 36, 37 minutes from Jalen Brunson. Maybe Phoenix changes up their defensive game plan here. Maybe they really try and slow down Luka with how bad Luka's beat them. Maybe they double team Luka. You don't really know. I would think, Phoenix would just try and do whatever they can to stop Luka and just have other guys beat him, which could mean more opportunity for Jalen Brunson. So I think the minutes are going to be there. It's just, the foul trouble has been a concern, but that's not something I'm concerned about, if that makes sense. Obviously, he's gone under in back-to-back games, but I don't care. Today's a new day. As long as Brunson's not in foul trouble again, which I think probably won't happen, he's going to play 36, 38 minutes. He's been great so far in the postseason, and ever since Luka came back, Brunson has still had a pretty good role. I like his over PRA. Also like over 16.5 points. If you wanted to take that one, I think that's totally fine. Would have to think that if Brunson gets 17 points, he's probably getting enough rebounds and assists to go over his PRA as well. But yeah, over 16.5 points for Jalen Brunson. I like that one too. And it is worth noting that on DraftKings Sportsbook right now, Jalen Brunson's PRA line is basically even money, but it's set at 25.5. So the PRA line for Jalen Brunson is 2 points higher on DraftKings Sportsbook than it is on Prizepicks. Another reason you should be playing on Prizepicks. But yeah, guys, that's the second prop I like for today. And then the third and final prop is a points prop. Another guy that was limited by foul trouble last game, but has been crushing, in the games where he's not been in foul trouble. That's DeAndre Ayton. You can take a look at his last 5 games. He had gone over his points prop in, I think, like 6 straight games prior to last game. He only scored 9 points last game, but it is worth noting that he was in massive foul trouble, like I said. And I think he scored those 9 points all in the first quarter. Like, he got off to a really good start. He had 9 points in the first quarter. I took his over in points last slate, and obviously he came up short. but he was in massive foul trouble. You can look at the rotations last game. So he played, if you look at the popcorn machine, he played 10 minutes in the first quarter. So obviously, pretty much his normal rotation. Checked back in with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. So he was, playing his normal rotation. He was on pace to play about like 19, 20 minutes in the first half. But then he picked up two quick fouls. He picked up two fouls. He got subbed out. Bismack Biyombo came in and played a little bit. So Ayton basically lost out on like 4 minutes because of foul trouble in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, he plays just 3 minutes, picks up a flagrant foul, and he gets subbed out once again, and they brought JaVale McGee back in. So Ayton basically only played 3 minutes in the third quarter, and didn't play at all until like the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. They brought him back in, and then it was final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. They brought him back in, and then it turned into a blowout. So he got subbed out really quick. Ayton literally only played 18 minutes last game. Like 18 minutes for DeAndre Ayton is something we can't expect to happen again. So far in the postseason, in the games that have stayed close, Ayton has been playing 33, 34, 35 minutes. You can take a look at his usage so far throughout this series. He's had really good usage in this series. Obviously, he had a great game one. Last game was limited by foul trouble, but he's had a 26.7% usage rate in these two games against Dallas. He's had the second highest usage rate on the team behind Devin Booker. And even just throughout all their playoff games, he's had a pretty good usage rate, 22%. So Ayton's going to be able to produce when he's on the court. He's a good scorer. He's got a great offensive game. And, game one of this series, he took 20 shots, was 12 for 20, had 25 points. Against Utah, not against Utah, against the Pelicans, Against the Pelicans, he was scoring a lot in that series. I think he went over his points prop in pretty much every game except one against the Pelicans. He had 21 points, so he went over 10, didn't go over that game, but then 28, 23, 19, and 22. So he's been crushing in the playoffs. He's gone over this points prop in 5 out of 7 playoff games, I believe, or 6 out of 8 maybe. Let me see. 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 6 out of 8 playoff games, Ayton has gone over 17 points. And then last game, he only played 18 minutes, was limited by foul trouble. I think it's a good matchup for Ayton. I think Dallas just doesn't have enough good, interior defense. They don't really have any good defensive bigs. I mean, Maxi Kleber can defend, but he's not a guy that's going to really slow down Ayton. So I think the matchup sets up really well for Ayton. I think this 17 points is just too low for him. I feel pretty confident he's going over this, if he stays out of foul trouble once again. So I like over 17 points for DeAndre Ayton as our third and final pick today. And do want to mention that on DraftKings Sportsbook, this is another line that's a little bit higher. So on DraftKings Sportsbook, a little bit more money coming in on the under, but his line on DraftKings Sportsbook is set at 18.5. So it's set at 18.5 with minus 125 on the under. On Prizepicks, it's set at 17, so that's a big difference. That's a 1.5 point difference. I like this one a lot. I think Ayton's going to continue to have a really good offensive game. His so far in the playoffs, he's had a big role offensively, been taking a lot of shots. Obviously, we know he's a very efficient shooter. A lot of his shots are coming inside the paint, right outside the paint, where he's going to make a lot of those shots. So that's one I like as well. Over 17 points for DeAndre Ayton. These are our 3 plays for today, guys. So over 32.5 PRA for Jimmy Butler, over 23.5 PRA for Jalen Brunson, and over 17 points for DeAndre Ayton. I took a look at the board Thursday night, and these were the 3 props that did stand out to me the most at first look. As always, I will have additional plays posted later today. Those will be posted on Patreon, so if you guys want to get access to my additional Prizepicks plays after more props get added to the board, after we get some Sixers props added to the board, I'll take a look at those, take a look at some other props as well, and I'll share additional plays I like for Prizepicks for today. I give those out on Patreon. You can check that out if you're interested. Link down below in the description. But that's it for today's video, guys. I wish you the best of luck tonight. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button as well. Again, you can check out Prizepicks with my promo code. You can sign up, use code NOAH. They'll match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.